And now for installment 2 of our midterm in review, the Age of Imperialism. The idea behind this unit is to understand the reason why countries, primarily European in our focus, and Japan, advanced outside of their own boundaries and what the consequences of that expansion would be. The Industrial Revolution have really created two things. A surplus of inexpensive goods and the ability to get those goods to markets, and a demand for the materials, the resources to make those goods. Because of these two things, European powers and Japan began competing for colonies. Colonies can be thought of as lands outside a country's border that are run by that country and often and typically do not have the rights of the full members of that country's citizens in the border. Reasons for creating an empire, reasons for being imperialistic. We remember them by our acronym EMPIRE, E-M-P-I-R-E. The first E stands for economic reasons. This is the need for resources and to control the money that flows through the world. It's always good as a country to be the people who control the money and to have the goods that other people want, because then you are able to control what people spend their money on. If they're going to spend their money on the goods you're making, eventually, if all goes well, you need markets for goods. Countries need a place to sell. If you've done really well with creating these goods and selling them in your own country, then everyone has them and you need more people to buy them, or you need to create a new good. Economic power, markets for goods. It's always about power, so here's P, political power. Controlling more land makes your country more powerful. The same is true in your neighborhood. The same is true in the United States. If you have more stuff, you have more power, whether that power is in terms of money, in terms of strength, or in terms of respect. It is power. The more stuff you have, the more power you have. Ideology. The belief that your culture was or is better than others. Very true of the Europeans. They believed that they had this level of technology, of sophistication, of culture, and when they left to find new markets and find new resources, meeting cultures that were different than their own, they viewed them as less advanced and therefore less. The ideology was these people should be like us because they are not. 1, we should treat them as less. 2, we should teach them to be like us. And 3, everyone will be better if they are like us. People who disagreed with this were easily pushed aside because these were the more powerful and more technologically equipped countries. There's always religious reasons. 99% of Europeans were members of Christian denominations, and God had given a command to spread religion to other people, to convert other people to the religious belief of any variety of Christian groups. Using this idea that God is encouraging people to explore and to convert individuals, gave a common language to the mission of imperialism and created a common language and a way to have another method of controlling colonial people. Lastly, exploration. It's always best to be the person with the newest stuff. Whether you've got the newest shoes, whether you've got the newest car, whether you've got the newest talent or the newest song, it's the best to be the newest. So explore, go find what's new, go find what's next. Exploration, religious reasons, ideological reasons, a desire for political power, markets for goods, and economic reasons. Empire. As you prepare for this section of the midterm, you want to think about how each of those aspects of imperialism can be seen on maps, in writings by explorers or governors or colonists, as well as businessmen. And then also remember what the other side of that equation is. We spoke about India and the control that the British had over India, and then talked about Gandhi and the way he reacted and used his influence to push back against that imperialism. We talked about Ethiopia and Italy, and we also mentioned, and linking to our final video, that places like Germany and Turkey, or the Ottoman Empire, felt like they were left behind and left out of this imperialism because they came a little later to the scene, and France, England, Spain, Portugal had pretty much divided up most of Southeast Asia and Africa by this time.